Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. Today I'm going to share with you my entry into the hashtag Sew Romp Play Jump 22 challenge. It's hosted by V at 85th and WAIWT. If you're interested in hearing about my interpretation, then please stay tuned. So I kind of gave you guys a sneak peek in, I think, Friday Sews about the jumpsuit that I'm making for the challenge. V reached out to me and asked me to participate as one of her ambassadors or vloggers for the challenge. I was originally scheduled to go on the 16th, but with being in a hotel and not being able to sew on weeknights, I was kind of a little bit behind, so she graciously allowed me to move my date to today, the 26th. And today is reveal day. So hopefully you've already made a jumpsuit and you're participating and posting your make on Instagram. I will link to V's channel in the description box in case you want to go and check out her intro video. But basically she is celebrating National Jumpsuit Day, which is today, October 26th. And so she gave us all a month from September 25th to today, October 26th, to make a jumpsuit, a boiler suit, a play suit, overalls, in order to support National Jumpsuit Day. So as you know, if you've been following me, I did a first attempt making the McCall's 7909, which is a beautiful jumpsuit. It's got a deep V, it's got a fitted band around the waist, it's got like wide legs. I made the biggest size and there was just too big of a size gap when I tried to zip it up. It was my first time making a fully lined bodice. I really actually enjoyed the make, so I don't really consider it a fail because I did learn a few new techniques. I loved the fabric that I used. It was inexpensive fabric, so that's why I used it for my fit muslin. But it ended up being beautiful. So I did end up buying some additional fabric because I'm gonna try and see if I can figure out how to make it fit, but I need my space at home to be able to do that. I just don't have the tools and the space that I need here to do that. So I am gonna work on that, but I didn't have time to do that before the deadline for this challenge. So I went to Joann's and I bought another Big 4 pattern. So that's 2 in a row. I bought the Simplicity 1446, and here's a picture of that packet. And this is a wardrobe or maybe an ensemble pattern. Yeah, that works. It comes with 5 different top versions and 2 bottom versions. And the bottom versions are really the same thing. It's just a length difference. It's just an elasticated waist pant. With pockets, and you can either make them as shorts or as long pants. I ended up making view B, which is the V-neck top with just the basic short sleeve, and I made the long pants. And then I also ended up making a self belt because obviously they're separate, so it's not technically a jumpsuit, but I wanted it to look like a faux jumpsuit. And so I wanted to do the belt just to kind of tie it together and make it look like one outfit from head to toe, one garment. So I made the self belt. I kind of alluded to the fact that the sizing is way, way off on the packaging. I know that the Big 4, or at least Simplicity, because McCall's obviously that wasn't true, but Simplicity adds a lot of ease into their finished garments. That being said, they had finished garment measurements on the package. And so let me just go through the sizing for you. So from a description perspective, the top is pretty basic. It's just a basic shell. You can make it as sleeveless. You can do a short sleeve, a flutter sleeve, a split sleeve. The necklines are different. There's like a notched kind of neckline. There's a crew neck. There's a V-neck. And surprisingly, the shells are different for view A versus views B and C because the bust measurements are different for each of those views, which I thought was interesting because it looks like the same shell. Anyway, so those are the description of the pieces. Sizing wise, I have the packet that is 18W to 32W. I knew that it would fit me. It's just which size did I need to pick. So that size range, the body measurements are bust ranges from 40 inches to 54, waist measures from 33 to 49 inches, and hips go from 42 to 56 inches. So a pretty decent size range there. Based on my measurements, I should have made the size 28 because that has a bust size of 50. I'm 50.5, knowing that there's ease, that was gonna be fine. The waist is 44 inches, I'm 46. Again, knowing that there's ease, I figured that would be okay. And the hip measurement is 52. I'm 53. Again, with the ease, I figured that was gonna be close enough. So here's the thing. The finished measurements on the packet for my size were 55.5 inches for the bust, which that felt like a decent amount of ease for the bust. I was okay with that. It doesn't give me the finished measurements for the waist, so I don't know that. And it said the finished measurements for the size 28 was 56 inches for the hip. That's a big lie. So 56 would have been fine because, like I said, my waist is, or my hips are 53 inches. Stop that. So like I've said, my hips are 53 inches. So 3 inches of ease felt like it would be the right amount because when you sit, you expand a little bit. So that felt like it would be good. When I tried these finished pants on, here, I'll put in a twirl here of me and Hercules trying these on. And you'll see how much excess fabric there is in the hip and leg area. Once I took those off, I laid them flat and I measured them with my measuring tape. The finished hip measurement on the size 28 that was supposed to be 56 inches was 60 inches, which is supposed to be the finished measurement for the size 32. And I am 100% positive that I cut the size 28. So simplicity, liar, liar. Okay. Moving on from that for the time being, the instructions and construction of this garment, obviously super easy. It's just a basic top, they're basic pants. There was nothing complicated, which I think is what made it ideal for a faux jumpsuit because you could showcase the fabric and let the fabric shine and not have to worry about any competition between details in the pattern and the beauty of the fabric. As I mentioned, I made a self belt. I just cut out 2 long pieces of rectangle. I sewed them together in the middle, folded them over, sewed a big tube and turned it inside out and finished the ends. Easy peasy. As I mentioned, the finished garment was too big, both the top and the bottom. The top did not have nearly as much extra ease as the pants did. The bust ease was actually okay, but the waist and hip was like really, and I know I like my stuff boxy, but it was too big even for me. So it wasn't huge, but it was too much. So I started with a simple extra 5/8 inch seam allowance from the underarm down to the hem, and that ended up working fine. So I took it out of both sides and that worked perfectly fine for me. It's still a little bit loose, but I'm actually okay with it. So that worked for the top. The pants, good Lord. So I started by putting the pants on and pinning where I thought I would want the seam to be. So I ended up taking 2 1/4 inch off of the side seam. So this is where the original seam was. I had to cut all the way over here. And that still wasn't actually enough. So I ended up going back in and I needed to taper it because it was just like straight down and that just doesn't look good on me. So I ended up going back in, and this still has the seam attached, so it's going to be hard to see, but so I kind of did a tapered cut and it ranged from 1/4 inch right at the low end of my hip. I took a 1/4 inch and then graduated it down to a full inch at the hem. And so it's just a slight graduation. So at the hem, I ended up taking a whole nother inch plus the 2 1/4. So just beware. I think I've learned my lesson. If I am going to make another big 4 pattern, which I'm not saying I won't, it's not going to be my go-to. If I do, then I will look at the suggested size based on my body measurements. I'll probably cut that out and I'll measure it before I bother cutting my fabric, because that's just wasted fabric. I will say that after all of that, I do like my faux jumpsuit. I am happy with it. I do want to talk about the belt placement though. So you'll see here's my final after I've made my fit adjustments, and I do have the belt in the proper waist position. And I put it in quotes like that because I've been doing a lot of research recently on proper fitting and ideal kind of garment cuts and styles for my body type, because my body type I'm feeling like it's not common. I know that there are lots of other overweight people, but the shape of where my weight is carried is not common. So I have what's called a B-shaped stomach. So it goes out from right under my boobs, then it comes in at my belly button, then it goes out again. Most patterns, when they have you measure for your waist, it's saying that that's your most narrow part of your body. If you're looking at my side view, if you're looking at me from the back, then my waist goes in not that many inches below my bust line, and then it goes out. But that place where it goes in is where I am the fullest on my upper stomach. So it's not the narrowest part from a measurement perspective on my body. That's why I have so much trouble with things that are fitted, because if I get it to fit where my proper waist is, I feel like that's accentuating the fullest part of my body, and I'm not happy with it. So I've been doing a lot of research there. That is where I put the belt in my outfit, because when I put it where it feels comfortable and where I feel like my waist is, which is at my belly button, because that's where my indent is, then that doesn't look flattering either, but that's where it ends up tending to fall, because that's where the narrowest part of my body is. So I'm doing a lot of research on that. I think I'm gonna do a video on all the research that I've done, and I still have some to do on how to best fit my body. And if you have a similar body type to me, then you might find it useful. Okay, so back to the jumpsuit, faux jumpsuit. Here are some styling options, which unfortunately I don't have the ability to show you those right here. Maybe I'll do it in like another Friday Sews at some point, but I don't have these things with me in the hotel room to show you. But I was thinking you could wear it obviously as a jumpsuit with sneakers, which is what I've done here in my twirl. You could wear it with wedges, you could dress it up a little bit, you could wear it with boots. I could see it being worn with like a turtleneck under the top and some boots if you're in a colder climate than where I normally am. So lots of different options to wear it as a jumpsuit. You could also wear it as separates, which is what I love so much about the faux jumpsuit. So I will wear that as a faux jumpsuit. I love that together. I think the fabric is beautiful and I love the way that it looks, and it's kind of sleek looking. But I also can see myself wearing that as separate. So the top, easily I would wear it with jeans. I would even wear it with leggings. In fact, I have worn it with leggings here while I'm in the hotel, and I think it looks cute. The top is long enough to cover my booty, and so it works really well with leggings. You could also pair the bottoms. I have in my head like a chambray kind of fabric with some kind of a statement, whether it's a statement collar or statement sleeves. I just feel like that would be great to offset the fun print in the pants, and that would make a really, really cute outfit. So I'm thinking like, I don't know, the Tilda blouse from Fiber Mood. It's very similar to the patina blouse from Friday Pattern Company. They both have that long, skinny, pointed collar. And the only reason I would do the Tilda is because I was a Fiber Mood member for a couple of years and I have the Tilda pattern. So there's no reason for me to go and buy the patina. They're almost identical. Or something with a statement sleeve, like maybe the Fiber Mood Norma. I think that could be really cool too. So yeah, so those are my styling options. Like I said, overall, I'm really happy with how this came out. I think there's probably still a little bit of room to take some seam out of the pants, but for now I'm happy with it. I didn't forget to mention, I also took 5 inches. I did also take out 5 inches from the elastic because the pants were like, the waist was too loose. And I measured the elastic the way the instructions told me to. I wrapped it around my waist and cut an inch off, and it just felt too loose. So I took another 5 inches, and to be honest, it still feels loose. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So yeah, that was my final fit adjustment. So let me know, did you participate in this challenge? How much do you love or do you hate jumpsuits? I feel like it's a very polarizing garment type. Some people love them. Some people really don't like them. People have issues with, taking them down to go to the restroom, or just the way that they fit, getting them to fit. If you have if you're either short-waisted or long-waisted, can be very time consuming, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So let me know in the comments below. Wherever you are, I hope the weather is wonderful. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you Friday. All right, thanks. Bye.